the theatre and meet the group. Just trying to imagine walking across this bridge, coming across as a cavalry on a horseback. The gate has been designed to make it really difficult for people to enter the city. Look at the old doors here. It would be pretty much a sitting duck coming through here, coming through the entrance on your horseback across the bridge, through the gate. Pretty hard to breach the city. This here is the dry moat. This is the gate of St. Anthony we're walking through now. Some of the cobbles are old, some of them are new. Lots of cats everywhere. Makes me miss mine. So when we say the inner Spain, basically it's like a club, and each country had their own kind of club along the street because it's important. Got a marble floor as well. The Archaeological Museum, it used to be a hospital. Well, we've just arrived at ancient Kamiros, a good view from here of the island. We're just heading up to have a close look now. It's about a 45-minute drive on the coach from Rhodes, from the old town. This is our ticket. There's my group number 3. We have a really good guide today. She's absolutely brilliant. Really looking after everybody, and she's actually taken us down to a shady part so she can give us the information about the place, which is really good tour guide. I think the best so far. Well, here we are. Absolutely incredible place. So much history and stories. I've learnt so much today already. When a female would get to the age of 14, she'd be brought here, pretty much naked, would have to dance, and her future husband would choose her. And divorce was quite common back in the Greek history. People could get divorced, but the ex-husband would have to pay the dowry if the woman wanted to get married again. Right, it's fairly easy to get divorced. And here we have some of the homes. On the first floor of each home there would be a special room called drama, and that was where the men would gather and they drink wine and water down so they didn't get too drunk, so they could still conduct their business. And they'd have food, they'd have of course soup followed by a bigger meal and then some fish, and that's where the business would go on. And those rooms were quite elaborate with mosaics, but that's where the word android comes from, android meaning human or man, and these rooms were only for the men, but apparently some women were permitted as well. And these were the, I suppose you could say, prostitutes, the ladies from the brothels, but it wasn't considered a bad career back then. It was actually something, basically these women were the most educated women, and there were different levels of prostitutes as well, but these were the educated people, and they had to be able to converse in philosophy and politics with the men, and they were the only women allowed in the room that the men were. Generally the women would be on the next floor in a smaller room, working away on weaving and general kind of housewife work. But women could also be trained at the temple of Artemis, and they would be very sacred temple. And the prostitutes from the second level down, the next kind of class of prostitute, they would actually have special sandals with metal on the bottom saying "follow me," and as they walked along on the sand, men would be able to see the footprint. They'd leave their footprints behind, and that's how men would know where to follow them. Generally these women were the most beautiful women in the town, and also the most educated. And here we have the baths. The city was actually lost for quite some time. It was only rediscovered when a farmer found a grave as he was ploughing the land on the top. And the reason that it was probably lost was when the city in Rhodes was built and people upped and left and moved to the new city. And slowly it became abandoned and nature took its course, and dust and sand, and the area got really covered up. So it actually became lost for quite a long time. I keep hearing little scuttling noises. I think it's the lizards. Some of them are quite big here actually. Just hear them scurrying off. But the bits that have actually been excavated are still quite small. I think there's actually a lot more of the city here. For what they've got here, they reckon that there were probably 12,000 people living here, but this is only a fraction of what could be here under the soil. The excavations actually got halted again when the island was under Italian rule during World War II. Hasn't really been excavated that much since then, so there's probably a whole massive city still to find. Something I hadn't thought about before and came to me today listening to Xristina the guide talking about the place was the word acropolis and the prefix acro, so thinking of words like acrobat, and acro actually means the highest point. So that's why you get the word acropolis, so acropolis would be the highest point. They haven't really found the highest point here. It's not that it doesn't exist, it's just they haven't found it yet. Well, we're at the higher point now, and this was the Temple of Athena. And there are these beautiful dragonflies everywhere. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see it, but I'll try my best. This is the kind of place I'd love to come and do a study of the insects here. There's so many different things, butterflies and dragonflies and loads of lizards. Very interesting place. I'd love to come and do an ecological survey. Back in the times when people were living here, you can just imagine them, people arguing, children playing, young lovers, and they'd be carrying jugs up to the wells to collect the water, taking it home each day. There were temples, and it would be something like an acropolis on the top, and then in the middle layer you'd have the houses, and right in the bottom would be the courtyard, the main town, the place where people meet and communicate and find out the day's goings on and all the gossip and collect the water. Some very old steps here, worn away from thousands of years, people walking on them. It's amazing to think this was here before Christ. And behind you can see the sea and then some of the other Greek islands. Well, I should probably head back down into the centre now, go and find the group, seeing as I'm an escort, find out where they are. It's a bit embarrassing to be the last person back as the escort. It was nearly very late. It's embarrassing. I can really see the sea now. Thank you. Back at the ship now. It was a brilliant tour, really good. Really pleased with that. Time to go and prepare my talk, ready for this afternoon. Back on the ship, back to work again. 1:45 now. I think it's time for a shower, some lunch, and then to get ready for my talk, which is at 4:30. This one is from Greece, from today. This one is from Turkey from yesterday, and this one contains holy water from the visit to the Church of the Virgin Mary. I think the first thing to do is to write my review of the tour while it's all fresh in my mind. That's my form done. Time for some lunch. Flying a drone on the ship. So many choices. I almost went healthy today, and then I spotted something out. Today's the first day that I didn't destroy a card. However, I did just forget. I picked up the cover, but I didn't pick up the actual card, so I now have to destroy the other one. I've got a new one now today. By the end of the cruise, I might actually have no problems with my card. Right, new card, old card. Old card goes in the bin. Never forget my card. Now I have to put it back and not forget it next time. Well, that freaked me out a little bit. I looked through the porthole and I thought we were moving all of a sudden, and I thought the engine went on as well. We're not due to leave for another hour, so I was thinking, thank goodness I wasn't on the shore. And also I'm doing my talk in an hour, so I thought we were on the go, but it turns out it's actually that ship there that's moving, not us. So I think we were just moving out of the way, and moving out of the way of that one, or being moved by that boat. So that's a relief. Otherwise I thought, oh, gosh, if I'd been on the shore, I wouldn't have come back by now. But it's definitely that boat, because I saw the chain, the anchor moving, and also you can see the smoke on the top, and the ferry workmen busy there. It was really churned out of the water. Soon we'll be off, leaving Rhodes in Greece, heading out to sea. It's quite strange to be looking at the people on the ferry from here. I'm sure they're all looking at our cruise ship and wondering what it's like over here, and we're doing the same over there. I wonder where they're headed. Well, I've just finished my talk. I think it went okay. I think I'm going to have a little bit of a chilled night tonight. I might go, since I'm all dressed up for my talk, I might go to the fancy dinner area for some posh nosh. I think I'm going to have a little bit of a quiet night watching some movies. We've just left Rhodes and now we're travelling towards Crete. So we'll arrive at Crete tomorrow. Tomorrow is pretty much one of the last few days we've got ashore, which is quite sad. We're almost at the end of the trip now, just settling into things. And here is the view from my porthole right now. Plenty of wave action and some islands and some mountains in the background. Pretty beautiful, really. I don't think I'll ever get bored of the sea view. It's better than anything on TV. Well, I didn't get very far on my walk to the dining room. I just bumped into, I forgot his name actually. He's the guy who looks after my room, and he just gave me tomorrow's Celebrity Today, which has all the details for tomorrow. Tomorrow we are arriving in Chania or Souda in Crete in Greece, and I always like getting this because that way I know what's happening tomorrow, what's going on, and it looks like I have a day off tomorrow, so no speaking events for me tomorrow. That means I can go and be a tour escort instead. So now I have to go and decide which tour to go on tomorrow. I love doing talks as well, I should say that, but it's always nice. Had a lovely dinner, and I met some new people as well, which was very nice. Had a good chat with them. And I think it's time for a little bit of work, a movie, and an early night.